Ladies and gentlemen, the broken-hearted, the wronged, the ones left bleeding on the battlefield of love. Let's get one thing straight right here and now. You were the one left in pieces. You were the one who gave everything. And they had the nerve to want sympathy, to play the victim when they were the ones who tore you apart? Oh, the irony, the audacity. Isn't it fascinating how those who hurt you the most always seem to flip the script? They stab you in the back, and the moment you start bleeding, they cry for help. They want everyone to see them as the one who's suffering. They spin their little sob stories, trying to paint themselves as the ones who were wronged. And people fall for it, don't they? They always seem to believe the loudest voice in the room in your pain, it's drowned out by their cries for attention. But here's what they don't realize. Here's the thing they fail to understand. The truth, my friends, always comes out. It doesn't matter how many lies they spin, how many crocodile tears they shed, or how much they try to paint themselves as the hero in their own twisted little narrative. The truth has a way of creeping up on you, and when it does, it hits like a freight train. Because you know what's real. You know the pain, the sleepless nights, the moments where you questioned everything you're worth, your identity, your entire sense of self. You were the one left picking up the pieces of a heart they shattered without a second thought. And yet, they had the gall to demand sympathy. They wanted pity when you were the one suffering in silence. It's a cruel joke, isn't it? But you didn't fall for their games. You didn't buy into their victim act. Oh no, you saw right through it. You were too smart, too strong, too real to get tangled up in their web of manipulation. And that drives them mad, because they can't stand it when you refuse to play your part in their little drama. They hate it when you don't crumble beneath the weight of their lies. But let's be honest, they always knew you were stronger than them, didn't they? Deep down they knew. That's why they had to tear you down. That's why they had to play the victim, because they couldn't handle the fact that you were the one who survived. You were the one who came out of it with your integrity intact, while they're left drowning in the mess they created. And oh, how they hate it. They hate that no matter how hard they try to twist the story, the truth keeps creeping in. They hate that people are starting to see them for what they really are: selfish, manipulative, broken. They hate that despite all their efforts to play the victim, they can't hide from the reality that they left you bleeding. Here's the thing though, and this is the part that really burns them: you don't need sympathy. You don't need pity. You don't need anyone to feel sorry for you, because you are so much more than what they did to you. You are so much stronger than the pain they left.
Dear Dr. K, I used to think I was never meant to be beautiful. You work with them.
You with. You've turned that pain into power, into strength, into resilience. You've become something they'll never understand, because they're too busy feeling sorry for themselves to see the beauty in the struggle. They expected you to crumble. They wanted you to break. But instead, you rose. You took everything they threw at you, all the lies, the betrayal, the manipulation, and you used it as fuel to become something greater. And now they're watching, seething, hating the fact that you've come out of this stronger, wiser, and more unbreakable than ever. And that's the real revenge, isn't it? Not the anger, not the bitterness, but the simple, undeniable fact that you survived, that you're thriving, that you've become someone they can never touch, someone they can never manipulate again. And they know it. Oh, they know it. They thought they could leave you in ruins. They thought you'd be crawling back to them, begging for closure, for understanding, for some shred of validation. But you've moved on. You've rebuilt. You've risen from the ashes of their lies, and now you stand taller than ever. And what are they left with? Nothing. Nothing but their empty cries for sympathy, their desperate attempts to rewrite history, their pathetic need for validation. They're stuck in the same cycle, playing the same game, while you've transcended it all. They thought they could win by playing the victim, by twisting the narrative, but here's the truth they've already lost. Because no matter how much they try to make it about them, no matter how many people they try to fool deep down, they know the truth. They know what they did, and that truth, it's going to eat away at them for the rest of their lives. But you're free. You're free from their games, their lies, their need for control. You've taken back your power, and that, my friends, is something they'll never be able to take away from you again. They thought they could control the narrative, that they could make you out to be the villain while they painted themselves as the poor, innocent victim. But the thing about lies is, they have a way of crumbling under the weight of the truth. And that truth, my friends, is something they will never escape from. They can run from it, hide behind their fake stories, but the truth, it follows you. It's like a shadow, always lurking, always waiting, and eventually it catches up. And when it does, it's brutal. You see, they may have fooled a few people for a while. They may have even convinced themselves that they were the ones who were wronged, that they were the ones who deserved pity and sympathy. But the more they repeat the lie, the more hollow it sounds even to their own ears. It starts to eat away at them, gnawing at the edges of their fabricated world, until there's nothing left but the cold, hard reality of what they did. They wronged you, they betrayed you, and now they're left with the consequences. Oh, they'll act like everything's fine. They'll pretend like they're living their best life, but behind closed doors, in the quiet moments when no one is watching, they're haunted by the choices they made. Because deep down they know the truth. They know that they left behind something real, something genuine, and for what? For the shallow satisfaction of playing the victim? For the fleeting attention they got from their sob stories? It's pathetic, really. But here's the thing, they'll never admit it. They'll never own up to their mistakes, because that would require facing the truth. And they're far too cowardly for that. So they continue with their charade, hoping that if they say it enough times, they'll start to believe it. But the longer they hold onto the lie, the heavier it becomes. And that weight, it's crushing them. Because while they're stuck in their web of deceit, you've moved on. You've risen above it all. You've found strength in the very pain they caused, and now you're untouchable. They can't manipulate you anymore. They can't use their guilt trips, their mind games, their twisted sense of reality to control you. You've outgrown them, and that's something they will never be able to handle. They wanted sympathy, but what they really crave is control. They wanted to control how you saw yourself, how others saw you. They wanted you to believe that you were the one at fault, that you were the one who should feel guilty. But now, they're the ones trapped in their own game. And the longer they stay there, the more they hate it. Because here's the truth they can't face: you were the one worth keeping. You were the one who brought light into their life, and now that you're gone, they're left in the darkness they created. No amount of playing the victim will change that. No amount of tears will wash away the fact that they let go of someone who was irreplaceable. And they know it. That's why they keep trying to make it about them. That's why they keep begging for sympathy, because they can't stand to face the reality that they are the villain in this story. But no matter how hard they try, the truth remains they wronged you, and now they're paying the price. It's poetic, really. While they're still scrambling to play the victim, you've found your peace, you've found your strength. And every day that strength grows while they continue to sink deeper into the mess they created. Let them cry. Let them plead for sympathy. It doesn't matter anymore. Because you, my friend, are free. free from their lies, their manipulation, their twisted games. And that freedom, that's the sweetest revenge of all. And now, as they wallow in their self-made misery, desperately seeking validation from anyone who will listen, you stand tall, untouched by their chaos. They can cry all they want, they can scream for attention, but it won't change a thing. The game they thought they were winning is over, and they're the only ones left playing. You've risen above their noise, and that silence, the one they once feared, now echoes louder than any of their hollow words. You see, they were never strong enough to handle you, never brave enough to face the truth you carried, so they ran. They played their victim card, thinking it would shield them from the consequences. But life has a way of evening the score, doesn't it? And now they're stuck in a loop of their own making, trapped by the lies they spun. Meanwhile, you're free, untethered, soaring higher than they ever imagined you could. So let them stew in their regret. Let them keep begging for sympathy that will never come. You don't owe them a thing. You've already won by simply being who you are: strong, resilient, and unbreakable. And that, my friends, is a victory they will never understand. So let them cry. Let them play the victim. Let them spin their stories. Because at the end of the day, you don't need their sympathy. You don't need their validation. You don't need anything from them anymore. You've already won.